What's up guys, it's Brian and welcome back to another video. If you're new here and don't know what I do, I'm documenting my Forex journey from beginning to the end to show you guys that it's possible to make it in this industry. Now guys, last week was NFP and I did not trade that because I don't want to trade the news and risk anything. So I avoided that day completely. But today is a new week, a new day with lots of new possibilities. So I'm recording this intro a bit late, but I did analyze my charts first this morning because I usually analyze around 8 o'clock, 2 hours before the London session opens. So don't worry, I did analyze and I did see a few opportunities, and I'll definitely show that to you guys. And then you guys tell me what you think down in the comment section, because probably what you guys see could be different from what I see. And maybe I could learn something from what you guys are telling me. I'm still in my learning phase, so feel free to correct me, And since I already recorded the analysis part and I'm just going to relax right now before the London session opens, I'm just going to read my Bible, meditate and just relax before the London session opens and get my mind right. So if you guys enjoyed this content and want to see more, please consider subscribing, liking the video and commenting down below what you guys think of the videos. So without further ado, let's hop into it. So guys, I decided to do a voiceover for this part since I thought it was too bland. So we're looking at a few pairs here that I analyzed this morning. First one is GBP NZD, and as you can see here, we're looking at a bearish correction and looking for sells to the downside. This is on the daily time frame, and you can see we've identified a few areas. For example, the area of interest and our little pattern in the back. We have another pattern right here. Furthering our confirmation. We have an impulse, correction, and hopefully an impulse to the downside. So we're hoping for major sells on this pair, because I'm not that good at pattern identification yet, but it's looking promising. So I'm going to head down to a lower time frame to see what else I saw. Now once we head down to the lower time frame, once we can see is that is the impulse, correction, and an impulse to the downside. Now and then we impulsed back up to an area of interest. That area of interest was created because of the bearish correction you see there. So we've impulsed back to the area of interest because of the NFP that happened last week Friday. So as we head down to the lower time frame, so I can show you what I see on that time frame. We've broken the brick wall and we went back to the area of interest. As you can see, at the area of interest, we see a reversal pattern and we're impulsing down. Now I'm anticipating another correction, another big correction before we fall down again. Now after that correction, I think I'm going to head over to a different pattern, which was CAD CHF, and then CAD CHF is the same thing: an impulse, a correction, and hopefully an impulse to the downside. So we see a bearish continuation pattern that we have identified, and we're hoping that it does play out the way anticipated. As you can see, we have a small correction there, a small bullish correction before an impulse to the upside. Now I'm expecting price to go all the way up to that area of value that I'm marking up right there, and I'm really hoping that it does come back here, because it really does also seem very, very promising. As I clean up the chart real quick, okay, there we go. So like I said, we have an impulse, a small bullish correction before you impulse up, another correction, and hopefully you're going to impulse up after we tap into the area of value that the small bullish correction has created. Now I think we're gonna head down to a lower time frame to see what else I see. Now in the lower time frame, as you can see on the 4-hour, we have an impulse and a correction forming under that area. So we're anticipating another impulse to the downside. So as you can see there seems to be some value that is created, which is why price went there, and it went there very impulsively. So this is now our new area of interest. So as I'm about to head down to a lower time frame to further explain what I see, and hopefully you guys see the same thing. What I see is a small correction forming underneath, and this correction does look a bit promising, and I'm hoping that it does play out the way I anticipate it to play out. But then again, guys, the market doesn't have to listen to me. So as you can see, I'm anticipating an impulse to the downside before tapping into that area of interest before moving back up to the upside. Now as I clean up the chart, you can see that there's a little bearish continuation pattern that I created there. That was a pattern that I noticed this morning and then didn't really enter in it. Now the next pattern we have is Euro AUD. And Euro AUD, as you can see, we have a correction, an impulse to the upside, and we're forming another bigger correction. Now you guys can see the pattern that I'm noticing is that most of these patterns that I've noticed are mostly corrections to the upside. So we've identified ourselves an area of interest, and we're hoping that price goes down to that area of interest because we have a first touch and a second touch, and hopefully we are anticipating a third touch to eventually help us get to the upside. So as you can see, there's a correction. We think of tapping into the area of interest before continuing to the upside. I'm going to go into the lower time frames to show you guys what I anticipate next from the pair. So let me head down real quick. There we go. Let me make it much more clear for you guys. And as you can see, we have another bearish correction and an area of interest right there. Let me just put it on top. There we go. Now as you can see, we have the three drives right there. We have the impulse, the first drive, second drive, and the third drive that we tapped into, and anticipating an impulse to the downside. So I'm going to hop into a lower time frame to show you guys again what else I'm seeing on the lower time frame, because it seems promising on the higher time frames. Now as we zoom in and take a closer look at the pair, we see that we've been moving very impulsively to the downside, which shows a promising how can I say, I don't know what to say, but a promising trade. As you can see, again, we have an impulse, another correction, then I'm anticipating another impulse to the downside. So it's very how can I say this, it's very promising, especially since this correction is forming at the bottom of the pattern. As let me just show you, it's forming close to the bottom of the pattern, showing that there is potential to potentially break to the downside. Now as I go back to the higher time frame to show you guys one more time what I'm looking at and what I'm looking for, it's looking very, very promising, especially after that candle, the gray candle we've noticed there, the impulsive gray candle. We anticipate a move to the downside. Now as I head into the next pair, which is GBP AUD, we have the same thing, another bearish correction and anticipating a move to the downside. We have we created volume right here, which this volume helps us identify an area of interest, which is the line you see up there. Let me just clean up the chart real quick. Yeah, the area of interest right there. Now we're going to head down to a lower time frame so that you guys can see what I see more clearly. Now as I zoom in and try to make this picture more clear for you guys, you see that we are impulsing back down after tapping into that area of interest. As I got closer and closer, one more time in the 5 minute. Again, I saw this pattern this morning and I never really took the trade because I'm not at that stage yet where I'm comfortable taking the trade. But however, you can see that we created a reversal pattern which had value and we tapped back into that before impulsing back down. So that was definitely a great success. And we were hoping that let's just continue this way and complete the pattern that we have on the higher time frame, as you guys can see, because that's why you noticed two areas of value right there. So as you can see, the impulse, we're hoping that it does the same thing right there and moves that same great distance, which will be a very, very good win for us and a very good prediction. Now the next trade is GBP CAD, and GBP CAD is a very tricky one, if I don't say so myself, because I'm very unsure of what to say about this one, because as you can see, we have a pattern within a pattern, and the pattern inside the bigger pattern, the reversal pattern, is incomplete. So price went up to tap a greater area of value before coming back down and completing that bearish correction inside of the reversal pattern. As you can see, there's no area of value that I can distinctly identify, but if you guys see it, please feel free to tell me in the comments, because I do not see it. Now the next pair we jump to is EuroCAD, and on EuroCAD we're looking for sells as well. As we go to the bottom, we see an impulse right there, then we have a small correction, a small bullish correction before it impulse to the upside. Then we tap, then we go back down, and you can see we have a bigger correction right there. First touch, I mean, that's the second touch, then that's the third touch, where we've tapped into our area of the interest, and we're hopefully going to go back down to the second area of interest at the bottom of the pattern. Now at our area of interest, you can see that price has definitely tapped in and has been rejecting very hard, and we're moving back into the pattern very, very impulsively. As I got into the lower time frames to show you guys what I see more clearly, as you can see, price has moved in very impulsively, and we're hoping for a correction with the 3 drives before impulsing back down and maybe catching a few potential trades. I'm not, like I said before, guys, I'm not going to enter any trades because I'm not willing to risk that yet. Still in the learning phase of this, and as you can see, as we head back up, this has some potential, and I'm hoping that does play out. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Okay guys, so I think I'm gonna call it a day here. I'm currently still editing the thumbnail for this video, and I'm basically done with all the stuff I have to do today. So after I'm done editing the thumbnail and editing the video, I'm going to post it, and you guys will probably see it tomorrow, or I'm not sure when. But if you guys did enjoy the video, please consider subscribing, leaving a like, commenting, and telling me what you guys think of the videos, and anything else you might want to see on the channel. And yeah, I really appreciate the support so far, and until next time, bye.